Hello everyone, I am Ritesh Chauhan, working as an assistant professor in Computer Engineering Department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. We are proceeding with the unit number 3. We already seen in part 1 what is derivation, what is context-free grammar. Let's proceed further with part 2 of the unit number 3. So in this video, the topic which are covered are first one is context-free language, then definition of regular grammar, then how to generate a language is by CFG, then constructing of CFG from the regular expression, and at last conversion from finite automata to grammar. So what is context-free language? So the language generated by the context-free grammar is known as context-free language. So context-free language have many applications in programming language. In particular, most arithmetic expressions are generated by context-free grammar. Here you see that grammar which contains non-terminal, terminal symbol, start symbol and production rule be a CFG, where the language generated by this grammar is L of G. X belongs to, it is any combination of terminal symbols, where S belongs to the starting symbol of this particular grammar. So language L is a context-free language if there is a CFG so that L equal to L of G. So the language generated by this particular grammar, that language is known as context-free language. The next topic is what is regular grammar. So a grammar which includes non-terminal, terminal symbol, starting state and production rule is a regular if every production takes one of the two forms of this grammar. Okay, any grammar which contains one of these two forms, that is known as regular grammar. If a grammar contains like B tends to any combination of, on the right hand side, any combination of terminal and non-terminal symbol, or it may be only one single terminal symbol, that means this grammar is known as regular grammar, where this B and C both are considered as a non-terminal and this small a is considered as a terminal symbol, that we already discussed in part 1. Now this is most important. So before proceeding with this, find out the language generated by the following grammar, I requested you to first learn how to generate regular expression, okay, from the languages. So first you have to watch the video that I already uploaded on the YouTube, regular expression, which are covered in unit number 2. Okay, so first learn that regular expression and then proceed with this topic. Otherwise you are not able to get this topic. Okay, let's see how to generate languages by the CFG. Suppose this is a CFG. S tends to A as A, S tends to B as B, S tends to null. This symbol is also known as null. Okay, it may be possible in examination the null symbol is like this. Okay, both are null symbol. Okay, this is also null, this is also null. So let's see which language will be generated with this particular grammar. So for that you have to start with the starting state always. Okay, what is our starting state? S. I start with S. If I put this production, that is A as A instead of S, what is our next derivation? A as A. Okay, why I call derivation? Because I am replacing this S by its right hand side, that we already seen in the part number 1. Okay, so this procedure is known as derivation. Suppose if I put once again instead of S, A as A, this A is as it is. Instead of S, I am putting A as A, and this A is as it is. Now suppose I am putting instead of S, B as B. A instead of S, what I am putting? B as B, and 2 times A is as it is. Okay, now suppose I am putting here null. Instead of S, what I am putting? Null. So what is our string? A B A and A. Okay, what this string indicates? Which type of language will be generated with this grammar? You can see this is a palindrome. Okay, you read from this side or this side, the string are same. So we can say the language generated by this particular grammar is a palindrome. But one more thing is there in this string, that it is an even length. Whenever we replaced with this one of this production, we get only even number palindrome. Okay, so you have to write the language of even length palindrome over sigma equal to A and B. Why sigma equal to A and B? Because there are total two terminals are used to produce the string. Okay, so which type of string will be accepted with the help of this grammar? Okay, which type of this type of string, like even length palindrome only, that type of string will be accepted with the help of this particular grammar. So this is a context-free language, the language of even length palindrome over sigma equal to A and B. The language generated by this particular grammar, it is known as context-free language, that we already seen in previous slide. Okay, so you have to generate this language, which type of language is generated by this particular grammar. Okay, let's see next one. Next one is somewhat similar. S tends to AA, S tends to B, S, B, S tends to A, S tends to B, and S tends to none. So once again we start with the starting symbol, that is S. Okay, instead of S I am taking one of the productions, suppose B as B. Okay, now instead of S, once again I am taking, so suppose I am taking A S A, and instead of S I am taking A, you can take B. Okay, I am taking suppose A. So which string is generated? B A A A B. So this is the string which are generated by the grammar. Okay, it may be possible that another string will also be generated, but the meaning of that particular language must be same. Suppose I am taking S tends to first only A, and I am taking in next time X tends to only B. Then I am taking, instead of B as B, I am taking first A S A, and instead of S I am putting null. Similarly, I am taking S tends to B S B, and instead of S I am putting null. So which string is generated by this parse tree? A. By this parse tree only A. By this parse tree only B. By this parse tree B and B. Okay, so what do you see now, that this is what, it is also in palindrome, but the length of this palindrome is 1 2 3 4 and 5. It is odd length. Okay, this is also palindrome, this is also palindrome, this is also palindrome, this is also palindrome, but it may be odd length, it may be even length. So what you write? What do you write as a language? The language of even and odd length of palindrome over sigma equal to A and B. You have to check all the conditions, huh? And then you have to decide which language is generated by this particular grammar. Okay, so let's see the answer. So the answer is the language of even and odd length palindrome over sigma equal to AB. In examination you have only given this grammar. You have to generate this particular language. Which language is generated by the grammar? Okay, let's see next one. Next one is S tends to AS, BS and A. So as usual we are start with the start symbol. I am first taking AS, and instead of A I am taking simply A. So we get the terminal state. Okay, the leaf node of the parse tree must be terminal node. Then and only then you can say we are getting some string. Here there is no non-terminal. Here it is a terminal symbol. Here also terminal symbol. We get some string. Okay, but if there is in the leaf node, if there is a non-terminal symbol, you cannot define any language. the leaf node must be a terminal symbol. Okay, so which string we are getting from here? AA. Let's take another production. I'm starting with BS. And instead of S, I'm once again taking BS. And instead of S, I'm taking A. So which string is generated here? B, B, A. Okay. This is a string for this pass tree. This is a string for this pass tree. Let's take one another. I'm taking AS. Then I'm taking BS. From S, once again I'm taking AS. Okay. And last I'm taking suppose A. So which string is generated from here? A, B, A, A. So here you can see your string is ending with A only. Okay. So one of the clue is this, that your string must be ending with small a. You can take any combination, but at last you have to terminate this S with this A. Okay. Suppose I am taking only S tends to A. So we can say this string is also ending with A. It may be starting with A but ending or ending with A. But these all string are not starting with A. That's why we conclude that the string must ending with A, but before this A, it may be any combination of A and B. We see here A, B, A, here only A, here B, B, A. Okay. So what is the language? So the language is string containing any combination of A and B except null, because null is not there here. Okay. So the string containing any combination of A and B except null, and the string ending with A. So this is the language which is generated by this grammar. Okay. Let's see another one. S tends to SAS and small b. Let's draw the pass tree first. S, first I am taking only B. So which string is generated? Only B. Next I am taking S tends to first SAS. Once again I am taking S tends to SAS. And here I am taking only B. Okay, and here also I am taking only B. Here I am taking only B. So which string is generated here? You have to scan from left. B, A, B, A, B. So which string is generated from here? B, A, B, A, B. This string is generated from this grammar and also this B. Now I am taking in another way SAS. Okay, from here I am taking SAS. From here I am taking SAS. And from S I am deriving only B. Here also I am deriving B. So I get the leaf node as a terminal state. So I can terminate now. Which type of string is generated? B, A, B, A, B, A and B. Okay. So I'm writing here B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Okay. From here I'm getting this string. From here I'm getting only B. From here I'm getting A, B, A, B. Okay. So what do you see here? So here string is starting with A, also ending with A. Oh, sorry, ending with B. Here also we can say the string is starting with B and ending with B. Here also we can say that string is starting with B and ending with B. And there is a combination of AB, AB, AB. Here there is no combination, any combination of A and B. Here it is specific that after A, B will become, after B, A will become, after B, A will become, after A, B will become. Okay. So one thing we can conclude that it must be start with B, it must be end with B. Okay, and it is a string of A and B in between. So let's see what is the answer. The answer is the string containing any number of consecutive BA. Okay, our string is we see previously that B A and start ending with B. Okay, so string is containing any number of BA, consecutive BA. Consecutive means after B there must be A, then B, then must be. So this is known as consecutive. Okay, so the string containing any number of consecutive BA and the string starts and ends with B. So this is a language. Okay, so this way you have to generate a language from a given CFG, that is context free grammar. So our next grammar is S tends to AB, B as A and null. Okay, so let derive from S. Which string will be generated from S? It may be S tends to null, means nothing can be derived. Then I am taking first A as B. A, capital S, terminal symbol B. Okay. Then instead of this S, I am taking B as A. B as A. Now instead of S, I am taking A as B once again. A as B. So to terminate this tree, I am taking here null. Okay. Now which string is generated from this parse tree? A, B, A, then B, A, B. You have to read from A, B, A, then B, A and this B. Okay, this string is generated from this particular grammar. Let's select another alternative, that is S tends to, first way I am taking B as A. Now I am taking B as A once again instead of S. Here I am taking, once again I am taking B as A. Now instead of S I am taking A as B. To terminate this parse tree I am putting here null. So which string is generated from here? B, 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 A, B and 3 times A. Now suppose I am taking A as B and instead of S I am putting null. So what is the string we are getting from this parse tree? A and B. Okay. Another I am taking S tends to B as A. Which string I am getting from this parse tree? Suppose I am putting here null, B and A. So you can see one common thing, that every string containing same number of A and B. Here also one number of time A, one number of time B. Here also one number of time A, one number of time B. Here 3 times A and 3 times B. 1, 2 and 3. Here 3 times B, 4 times B and 4 times A. Okay. So what is the language we can say is generated from this particular grammar? We can say that number of A and number of B are same over sigma equal to A and B. Okay. So this language is generated from this particular grammar. So what is the answer? Number of A and number of B are same over sigma equal to A and B. Okay, so first you have to derive, check all the possibility, and then you have to write this particular language. Okay. Let's see another one. Okay. This is somewhat difficult. So always parse tree is starting with S and terminate with the leaf node, that is terminal symbols. So we start with S and I have no option. So I have to take x, a, x, a, x, x, a, x, a, and x. Okay. Now instead of x, suppose I am taking null instead of x, suppose I am taking null instead of x, suppose I am taking null. So which string is generated from here? 2 times a. Okay. Next, I am taking s. I have to take this x, a as mandatory because there is no other production which are derived from s. That's why x, a, x. Okay. Now instead of this x, I am taking suppose ax. And instead of this x, suppose I am taking bx. And instead of this x, I am taking null. Similarly, from this x, suppose I am taking directly null. Suppose this from this x, I am taking null. So which string is generated from here? A, B, then A and A. Okay, this string is generated from here. This string is generated. Once again, I have to take s. From s, suppose I am taking x, A, x, A, x. Now from this x, suppose I am taking bx first. bx, and rest of the string is as it is, ax, ax. From this x, suppose I am taking once again bx. So this b is as it is. Instead of x, I am writing bx, ax, ax. Now suppose I am taking for this x null. This all string are as it is. From this x, I am taking ax. Instead of this x, I am taking ax. And rest of the string is as it is. From this x, once again I am taking ax. Okay. And rest of the string is as it is. Now I am putting null at both the x. So what is our string? B, A. I'm putting here suppose null. Okay. So which language is generated from this particular grammar? String containing. Those who have referred that regular expression that I already posted at the YouTube, that is covered in unit number 2, they can give easily answer of this particular grammar. Which language is generated? Okay, at least 2a must be there in all the string. In all the parse tree. If you put here null instead of x, if you put null instead of x, if you put null instead of this x, you put null, then at least 2a will be there in the language. So any string which have at least 2a will be passed with the help of this particular grammar. Okay, so let's see which language is generated from here. String containing at least 2a over sigma equal to a and b. Let's see next. Once again we start with s because s is our starting state. Now I have no option, so I have to take ax, and instead of x, suppose I am putting null. So which string is generated from here? Only a. Similarly, if I take s tends to ax, and instead of x, what I am putting, suppose bx, and instead of x, suppose I am putting null. So what is our string generated from here? ab. Now suppose I am taking s tends to ax, and instead of x, I am taking once again ax. Instead of x, I am taking once again ax. Now instead of a, I am taking, instead of x, I am taking bx. Now instead of x, once again I am taking bx. Now instead of x I am taking ax, and then I am putting null. So what is our final string? 3 times a, 2 times b, 1 time a, and null. Suppose I am deriving s tends to first ax, then x tends to bx. Okay, then I am putting, suppose s tends to ax, x tends to bx. So I can take any combination of a and b. You can see, instead of x I am taking ax, and at last I am putting suppose null. So it is any combination of a and b. All string have any combination of a and b, but you can see that the string is always start with a, because in starting state we have mandatory here putting small a. So string is mandatory always starting with a. Okay, so what is the language? You can say the string containing any combination of a and b but starting with a. Okay, so let's see what is the answer. String starting with a over sigma equal to a and b. Why we cannot mentioning that any combination of a and b? Because if we write s tends to ax, and if I put here null, so what is the answer? The string starting with a. Okay, but after that it may be possible it is any combination of a and b 0 times also. Okay, so you can write here that string starting with a over sigma equal to a and b, or any combination of string containing any combination of a and b, but the string must be start with a over sigma equal to a and b. Okay, that answer is also correct. Let's see last one. Start with the starting symbol, that is s. Instead of s, suppose I am putting null, then we are getting nothing from this. Okay, next one is s. Instead of s, once again I am taking ss. Then instead of this s, I'm taking s, and this s is as it is. Instead of this s, suppose I am taking x, a, x, a, x. Okay, and from this s, suppose I'm taking null, and also from this s I'm taking null. Now x tends to, it always start with b. It may be possible, it may be possible that we can put here null, but right now we are putting bx. Okay, this a is as it is. Instead of this x I am putting null. Instead of this x I am putting null. Okay. Now instead of this x, suppose I am taking once again bx, and instead of this x I am putting null. So what's the string generated by this pass tree? b, b, a, a. Okay, let's try another alternative. Suppose I am taking s tends to directly x, a, x, a, x. Okay, and instead of x I am writing bx. Sorry, this time we are taking null. A is as it is. Instead of this x I am taking bx. Just a minute. And instead of this x I am putting null. and instead of this x also I am putting null. So which string I am getting from here? A, B and A. From sorry, A, B and this A. Okay, it is correct. X, A, X. From this x we are taking null directly. From this x we are taking B and X, and instead of X we are putting null here. A will be there, and instead of this X we are putting null. So what is the string we are getting? A, B, A. Okay. Let's take another alternative. S tends to X, A, X, A, X. Okay, now instead of first X we are putting once again null. Instead of this X we are putting null, and instead of this X we are taking X, sorry, A, and instead of that last X we are taking BX. Now we are putting null here. So what is the string which are generated? AAB. From this pass tree what we generated? ABA. From this pass tree what we generated? BBA. Sorry, BBAA. So you can see one thing, that there is an even length of A. A must be 0 time, it may be 2 time, it may be 4 time, it may be 6 time. Okay. Suppose if you take 2 times XAAX, for example, I'm taking first time S tends to SS, and instead of this first X I'm taking X A X A X, and instead of this X or this S also I'm taking the same production, that is X A X A X is as it is, and from this S I am deriving once again X A X A X. If I put null over the X, then what is the string? 4 times A. Okay, so we can say the string containing even length of A. It may be 0 number of time. How? If I take S tends to, sorry, it must be S tends to suppose null, then no string will be generated from this S. So the length of A is 0 time, which is also considered as a even. Okay, it may be 2 time, it may be 4 time, it may be 6 time, it may be 8 time. If you take once again S tends to SS, then you can get the A 6 times. Okay, once again if you take S tends to SS, then you have the string with 8 number of time A. So what we are getting, what is the answer? The string containing even length of A over sigma equal to A and B. So in examination you have to draw different pass tree, or you have to derive by taking different production, and then you can conclude that what language will be generated by this particular grammar. Okay. Okay, so next topic is find a CFG for the language defined by the following regular expression. So till now we have context-free grammar and we define the language from it. Okay, now there is a language, we have to define a context-free grammar. We have to construct a context-free grammar from the given language. Let's see the first language. First language is give the CFG which generates a string containing only A's. Okay, so what will be the CFG? Suppose my starting state is capital S. And if I write S tends to A, then it is true only for single A. If I have a string multiple times of A, suppose 3 times A, then this will not give me the pass tree, or this cannot derive for this particular string. Okay, if there is only one single A, then it is true. But what about if there are multiple A's? Okay, because What is the language? Give the CFG which generates a string containing only A's. It may be possible more than one A will be there in the string. Okay, so simply what to do? This S tends to A will be there. Why? Because if there is a single A, then this grammar, this particular production will be correct. If there are more than one A, then simply you have to write A and this starting symbol, that is S. Okay, why I write this? For example, suppose there are total 3 A's in the string. Okay, this language is correct according to this grammar. Let's check. S tends to, first I take AS because I have to generate 3 times A. Then from this A, once again I take AS. And from this S, I simply take one single A to terminate the parse tree. So this string is accepted. If I write 5 times A or 10 times A, this grammar will work. Okay. So this is a grammar, this is a context free grammar for this particular language. Let's see the answer. S tends to AS or A. You can write S tends to A or AS. It is similar. There are total 2 production in this. S tends to AS and S tends to A. Let's see next one. Give the CFG which generates a string containing any number of A. Any number of A means 0 times A, 1 time A, 2 time A, 3 time A, any number of times. Okay, for this, how we write the array? A star. Okay, this means 0 times A, 1 time A, 2 time A, 3 time A, infinite time of A. So how to write a CFG? For here, what we do? If there is a single A, then it is true. So this is an context free grammar for A plus 1 time A or more than 1 A. What about A star? It includes null. So simply we have to put here null. For example, if I write a grammar, S tends to AS or null, and if I have 0 occurrence of A, then I take S tends to A, sorry, S tends to null. If I have 3 occurrence of A, suppose 3 occurrence of A, so how we derive the parse tree? S tends to AS, 1 time A is there. Then once again this S will be passed with AS. Then once again this AS will be passed with AS, and at last this S derives null. Okay, so this is a context free grammar which generates a string containing any number of A's. Okay, let's see the answer. Next one is give the context free grammar which generates a string containing any combination or any number of A's and B's. Any number of A's and B's means what is the array? A plus B the whole star, that we already see in regular expression video. Okay, this is an array. We have to generate a context free grammar for this particular array. Okay, for A star we already have the context free grammar. How we have to write for A star? AS or null. Okay, but here it includes A plus B the whole star, so I can write for AS, for A AS, and for B simply BS, and S tends to null. Any combination of A and B means what? It may be start with A, then it may be B, A, B, A, B, 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 A. Means any combination of A and B will be there for this particular array. Okay, so this is a context free grammar for a string containing any combination or any number of A and B. We can say any combination of A and B instead of any number of A and B. Okay, let's see it is possible or not with the help of grammar. If the string start with B, then you have to derive S from BS. If the string start with A, what you derive from S? AS. And if you have a string which contains next as a terminal, next terminal as a B, then simply you have to take, instead of S, what you have to take? BS. And process continues until you reach to the particular string that we already see in the derivation. Okay, so this is a perfect CFG for a string containing any combination of A and B. Okay, for any combination of A and B, you have to keep in mind what I write here: S tends to AS, or S tends to BS, or S tends to null. This will help you in other examples also. Okay, so keep in mind. Let's see which are the next. Construct CFG for A B star. Okay, for single A, the string starting with A. Okay, so I'm writing simply S tends to A. Okay, now what about only B star? What is the CFG for A star? This one. Okay, so the CFG of B star is simply we have to put here B, but after A the B star will be continuous. Okay, after A, so simply I take here a non-terminal, suppose capital B, and here I give B tends to B, capital B. Instead of S we are taking here B. Okay, and here simply I have to write null. Why null? Because it's a B star. So always your string starting with A. That's why S tends to, whenever you expand this A, S, you must have A and only then this capital B, which contains any combination of B. So if you derive this capital B, you must have to derive with BB or null. Okay, it is very simple. If you are able to generate this CFG for containing only A's and A star, then the rest of the examples are very simple. Okay, let's see the answer. S tends to AB, we are taking one new non-terminal, and B tends to BB or null. Let's see next. Construct CFG for AB plus. Okay, A B plus. For A plus, what is the CFG? S tends to AS or A. This is for A star, sorry, A plus. Similarly for B plus, suppose I am writing S tends to, simply I have to replace the terminal A, BS or B. Okay, but your string always start with A. So here there is A, and then for this B plus we have to derive one new non-terminal. Okay, so what is the context free grammar? S tends to, suppose I am taking A and capital B for B plus, and B tends to, I am deriving here B plus, B capital B or B. Because it's a B plus, I have to put here B. If it is a star, then I have simply put here null. Okay, let's see the answer. S tends to AB, we take one new non-terminal, that is B. You can take any non-terminal, T, S, A, B. Okay, and B tends to small b capital B or B. Let's see the next. Construct CFG for A star B star. For A star we already know what is the CFG. What is the CFG? S tends to AS or null. Similarly for B, suppose I am taking non-terminal B, B tends to B capital B or null. Okay, so this is for A star and this is for B star. So I have to take two non-terminal with the starting state. Suppose I am taking S tends to capital A for A star and capital B for B star, and simply I have to write for A star because I am using A for this A and capital B for this B star. So what is A star? A tends to A capital A or null, simple, and B tends to B capital B or null. Okay, so this is the context free grammar for A star and B star. You can take any non-terminal. Okay, so this is CFG. Next, construct CFG which consists of all string having at least one occurrence of 3 times 0. Okay, all string but at least one occurrence of 3 times 0. So as we see in RE, we have to put simply 3 times 0. Okay, it may be proceed with any combination of A and B. It may be ends with any combination of A and B. But there is at least one occurrence of 0, 0, 0. Okay, so simply for any combination of 0 and 1, what we do here, 0 plus 1 the whole star, it gives any combination of 0 and 1, and here also 0 plus 1 the whole star, this also gives any combination of 0 and 1. That's it. So what is this? This is a RE for this particular sentence, at least one occurrence of 3 times 0. Okay, so we have to fix one time. It may be any number of time. We can generate 3 times 0 from this also. Okay, but if we give the wrong string, then also it will be passed if we don't write this 3 times 0. That's why we have to mandatory put 3 times 0 first, and then any occurrence of any combination of 0 and 1 in the beginning, and in the end any occurrence of 0 and 1 or any combination of 0 and 1. Okay, now what is the grammar for this particular RE? For this and for this it is similar. Suppose I am using for this non-terminal A and for this non-terminal A, and for this 3 times 0 I am taking suppose T. Okay, for any combination of 0 and 1, we already see in the previous slide. What is the answer for any combination of A and B? This is the answer, S tends to AS or BS or null. So for 0 and 1, what is the context free grammar? 0S or 1S or null. So we get what we have to write for A, and what we have to write for T. T tends to 3 times 0. That's it. Okay, so what is our context free grammar? Suppose I am taking S, so S tends to ATA. What is A? A tends to any combination of 0 and 1. For any combination of 0, 1, I am using 0A or 1A or null. And what is T? T equal to 3 times 0. Okay, so first four context free grammar is most important. So what is our CFG? S tends to ATA, A tends to 0A, 1A or null, and T tends to 3 times 0. If you write S tends to capital A 3 times 0 and then capital A, then it is also correct. And then A tends to, you have to derive this one. Okay, but instead of this, what I am taking? A non-terminal capital T. Let's see the next one. Write a CFG for 0, 1, 1 or 1 the whole star and 0, 1 the whole star. Okay, it is also very simple if you learn first four CFG then. Okay, what is this? It is similar to 0 plus 1 the whole star. Only instead of 0, what is there? 0 1 1, and this is similar to A star. So total there are two non-terminal will be used, that is for 0 plus 1 the whole star A, and for A star this B. Okay, and starting symbol suppose S. Now what we write for 0 plus 1 the whole star? Any combination of A and B. Okay, so what we write? S tends to AS or BS or null. This is for A plus B the whole star. Okay, so instead of A, what you have to write? 0 1 1, and instead of B, what you have to write? Simply 1. Okay, suppose I am using A non-terminal for this 0 plus 1 1 or 1. So what is the context free grammar? Simply A tends to 0 1 1 S or 1 S or null. Okay, now what is a context free grammar for A star? For A star, we have to write S tends to AS and null. Okay, so simply instead of A, what you have to write? Only 0 and 1. Suppose I am taking for 0 1 this B. So what is the CFG? Simply B tends to 0 1 B and null, and simply I have to put here S tends to A and B. The CFG is ready. So first 5 is most important CFG for you. Okay, how we generate any combination A of B, how we generate A star, how we generate A star, B star. First you have to learn that, and then rest of the CFG are very easy. Okay, let's see the answer. First we take two non-terminal, A for 0 1 1 plus 1 the whole star and B for 0 1 the whole star. For A what we write? 0 1 1 A or 1 A or null. For B what we write? 0 1 B or null. Okay, let's see next one. Write a CFG which contains at least 3 times 1. Okay, now what is the RE for at least 3 times 1? At least 3 times 1 will be there. It may be any number of times. Okay, so what is the RE? We already learned in regular expression. What is the RE? First you have to put 3 times A. 3 times A will be anywhere. That's why I am writing here. Then simply what we write? Suppose I am taking 3 times A 1. Okay, 3 times 1. It may be proceed with any combination of A and B. Any combination of 0 and 1. Similarly here also any combination of 0 and 1. For any combination of 0 and 1, what we have to write? 0 plus 1 the whole star, and here also 0 plus 1 the whole star. Here also 0 plus 1 the whole star. So I am already told you that if you know properly what is regular expression and how to generate regular expression for particular given language, then and only then this all CFGs and how we construct the language will easy for you, otherwise not. Okay, so 0 plus 1 we already know what is the RE, CFG. Okay, only remaining is 1 1 and 1. Simply you have to put, suppose I am taking S tends to, for 0 plus 1 the whole star I am taking A, and I have to put 1 as it is. For 0 plus 1 star I am taking A, this one is as it is. For 0 plus 1 the whole star I am taking A, this one as it is, and for 0 plus 1 whole star I am taking A. Okay, now simply I have to put A tends to, what is the context free grammar for 0 plus 1 the whole star? Similar to this, only we have to write 0 and 1. So 0A or 1A or null. So this is the CFG for which contains at least 3 times 1. Okay, let's see the answer. S tends to A1, 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 A, and A tends to 0A, 1A, null. Let's see the next. Write a CFG that must start and end with same symbol over sigma equal to 0 and 1. This also we do in the regular expression. Okay. It may be start with 0, it may be end with 0. It may be start with 1, it may be end with 1. Okay. There are two possibilities. Suppose then what is the RE? First we define RE and then context-free grammar. Okay. It may be start with 0, so it must end with 0, and in between 0 and 0 it may be any combination of 0 and 1 the whole star, or it may be start with 1, so it must be end with 1, and in between it may be any combination of 0 and 1 the whole star. Okay, for any combination of 0 and 1 we simply write 0 plus 1 the whole star. So for 0 plus 1 the whole star we already know what is this context-free grammar. Simply you have to put 0 and 0 in the beginning and in the end. Similarly for 1 we have to put 1 at the beginning and 1 for the end. Okay, suppose my context-free grammar is s tends to, for this 0 plus 1 the whole star I am taking a. Okay, so for this, what is the context-free grammar? 0 a 0, and here what we use OR symbol, so OR 1 a 1. If your string starting with 1, then you have to select this alternative. If you're starting with string will starting with 0 and end with 0, then you have to derive as from 0 a 0. Okay, and what is the RE for 0 plus 1 the whole star? Sorry, context-free grammar for 0 plus 1 the whole star, this one. Okay, let's see the answer. S tends to 0 a 0 or 1 a 1, a tends to 0 a or 1 a. Okay, so next one is write CFG for L equal to a of I, b of j and c of k, where I equal to j or j equal to k. Okay, so how to read this type of language? This language tells us that if I equal to j, then if there are 5 times a, it must be followed by 5 times b. C any number of time. Okay, you cannot write a b a b. Why? Because here it is given that after a will b will be there and after b c will be there. Okay, so we have to write two CFG, first one for I equal to j and second one for j equal to k. If you are able to write for I equal to j, it is very simple to write j equal to k. Okay, so suppose it may be one occurrence of a and b, then it will be easy, that is one time a and one time b, so I equal to j. Okay, but it may be any number of time, but both are same. Both occurrence of a and occurrence of b must be same because we are dealing with I equal to j. Okay, so simply what you have to put, s tends to a, s and b, because after a b will be there, and instead of s I can derive a and b any number of time. Okay, so what is the CFG? CFG is s tends to ab or s tends to a, s and b. Let's see 3 times a and 3 times b will be derived from this particular grammar or not. Suppose I am starting with s and I am deriving from for a, s, b, and from this s Once again I will deriving for A as B, and this B is already there. From this as once again I am deriving only A and B. Why? Because I only needs 3 times A and 3 times B. So I will derive this AB. So 3 times B will be occur. Okay. Now what about C in this particular grammar? For C we already learned how to write for C plus. Here we are taking non-zero, that K is not equal to 0. That's why we have to write the context-free grammar for C plus any occurrence of C, any string of C. That we already do in the first slide of this type of questions. Okay. So let's see what is the CFG for this particular grammar for I equal to J. S tends to AB, A tends to A, capital AB or AB, and B tends to CBC. So it is very easy for J equal to K. For J equal to K, A must be any number of time, but B and C must be same. Suppose B in the string occurring 2 times in the string, then C must be occurring 2 times. Okay. So what is the context-free grammar? Suppose I am taking here C. C tends to D, E. So for this D, I am writing for A similar to this. So D tends to A, D or D, sorry, or A, and E tends to, for equality of B and C, I am using this one. That is B capital E and C, or terminal symbol B and C. Okay, you can take any non-terminal instead of this. It's totally depend on you. Let's see the answer. Okay. Next is the next one. Write a CFG for language A raised to I, B raised to J, and C raised to K, where J is greater than I and K. This is also most important for your examination. Okay. I and K are occurring in A and C, and J is occurring in B. Occurrence of B is greater than occurrence of A and C. Suppose A and C is occurring in the string 2 times, so B must be occurring 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then and only then this condition will be true. Okay. So what we do, whenever A is occurring, whenever A will be there, we put B with him. Similarly, whenever C is occurring, we put B with him. And in between there is one non-terminal. Suppose I am writing here A, suppose I am writing here C, capital C. And what is B? If A is occurring 1 time, then B is occurring 1 time. If C is occurring 1 time, then B is occurring 1 time. Okay. So suppose I am taking the non-terminal capital A for this and capital C for this. Suppose I am taking one new non-terminal, that is B, for the occurrence of B. Suppose I am writing small b, capital B, or 1 time B. Okay, so I must be start with this grammar with, suppose I am taking S tends to A, B and C. So I must have to expand this S with ABC. Suppose I am expanding this A with A, capital A, B. So how I can terminate this capital A? Instead of how I can terminate? That's why I am putting here null and here also null. Then and only then I can terminate this A with null. Okay. Suppose I am taking instead of A, B, and instead of B, only B, and instead of C, I must have to take B, capital C, and C. And instead of C, suppose I am putting null. So there are total 1 occurrence of A and 1 occurrence of C. So 2 is less than this 3. So our condition fulfills. Once again I will explain you this whole thing. What is the question? A of I and C of K and B of J. B of J must be greater than total occurrence of A and C. Okay, but after A, B will be there, and after that C will be there. That's why I am using a non-terminal. Suppose I am using a non-terminal capital A for small a. Whenever small a is occur, B is also occurring. Okay, and I simply put here capital A. Okay. Similarly, whenever C occurs, B must be occurring here, and in middle what I write, capital C. And what is B? Capital B tends to, I have to write 1B or any number of time B, then and only condition will be fulfilled. And if I start the starting state with capital A, B and C, these three of A, B and C both are going to derive. For example, suppose I am deriving this as with A, B and C, and instead of A I am taking A, capital A and B, and instead of B suppose I am simply taking small b, and instead of C I am taking small b, capital C and C. So for terminating this A and C, I am simply putting here one null and simply putting here one null. B will be terminated by the terminal symbol B. That's why we are not putting here null. Okay. If we put here null, then what is the answer? A, B, B, B and C, which is greater than this 2. Okay. B is occurring 3 times and A plus B is occurring 2 times. So condition fulfills. Let's see what is the context free grammar for this. Okay. Then for A and then for B. So the next one is write a CFG for the language 0 of I, 1 of J and 0 of K, where condition is similar to the previous example. Okay. Instead of A, what will be there? 0. Instead of B, what is there? 1. And instead of 0, what will be there? In the previous example, C. Okay. So instead of A, we have to write 0. Instead of B, we have to write 1. And instead of C, we have to write 0. What is the CFG? Similar to previous one. So the next topic is conversion from finite automata to grammar. This finite automata, what is finite automata? You are going to learn in the unit number 2. Okay. Then also I am taking this topic because it is very simple. How to generate a grammar with the help of finite automata. The finite automata is already given in your examination. Only you have to generate a grammar. Suppose there is one state, that is A, and it gives 0 to the state A. Then what is the CFG? Simply A tends to 0, because A is giving 0 to itself. That's why. Okay. Suppose A is giving A tends to B by 1. A is giving 1 to B. So what is the CFG? A tends to simply 1 and B. Okay. Next, B gives C with the value 0. So what is the CFG? B tends to 0C. Similarly, B gives 1 itself, so B tends to 1B. Then C gives 0 to A, so C tends to 0A. C gives 1 to B, C tends to 1B. Now what is important here? C is the final state and this A is your starting state. Okay. What is most important? How to terminate? All the products can have the non-terminal symbol. Okay. So how to terminate this particular grammar? We must have null or we must have any terminal symbol in any of these non-terminal. Okay. So always you have to see at last all incoming transitions to the accepting state. This is our accepting state. Are designated by the production. Source state gives input symbol. If you have a final state, then you have to see which state gives to the final state. This B gives to the final state. That's why we written here B tends to 0C. Okay, but at last you have to write source state. This is a source state, that is B tends to only input symbol. So I have to write B tends to 0 for terminating the CFG. Okay, so at last I write B tends to 0. Suppose if there is a finite automata like this, A tends to B and B is our suppose final state, and it gives 0, it takes 0 from A, then what is the CFG? First you have to write A tends to 0B, and for terminating, what is the answer? A tends to only 0. Okay, so source state tends to only input symbol will be there for terminating symbol because B is our accepting state. Okay, so this is an exercise. You have to write a CFG for this particular finite automata where E is your final state. This E is your final state. Okay, so whenever you derive D, so D tends to AE will be there, and at last D tends to, for terminating the grammar, you have to write A. Okay, try this at your home. If you have any query in this example, please contact me. I hope you understand how to generate CFG from the language, how to generate language from the CFG. If you have any query in any of the topic, please contact me. Thank you.